Welcome back everybody to another video. I'm Gavin or GGLounge, and I've been playing a ton of Marvel Rivals offline. A lot of the first time playing videos that I've been uploading recently, all 19 of those were recorded the first night of release and the second day. But offline, I've just been playing a ton of the characters that I actually enjoy, which is mostly like Punisher and Storm. So this is a weird video to make for a character that I really actually enjoy. But there's a lot of discussions happening in the community right now regarding Storm and her kit being like boring or just not enough. I think people's expectations were really high with Storm because, I mean, she's the goddess of weather, basically. She just controls weather. You expect her to have a ton of different weather effects and not just weather control that changes her stance from wind to lightning, but she always uses wind blades to attack, and her right click bolt rush is kind of not that cool looking. So I've come up with a rework for her character. Not anything super drastic, but just a little rework, keeping a lot of her same abilities here while just upgrading them in some ways. And before we dive into the rework for her, I want to say that she is really strong right now. If you play her a ton, she can actually be really good. The fact that she can speed boost your entire team, damage boost your entire team, start creating lightning bolts that like take out squishy characters so fast, and she's kind of hard to hit in the air. You need specific characters to usually try to take her out. She's got a lot going for her, and not to mention her ultimate, which is insane. In some of my gameplay, it definitely didn't work too well because I think I always used it inside of a Luna ult or a Mantis ult. So I was like, this doesn't do a lot of damage, but playing her offline now, oh my gosh, her ultimate is actually crazy. So yeah, there's a lot going for her, but I still want to give my opinions on a rework here. So I've come up with abilities. Let's hop into it. So the first thing I thought of for Storm to make her even more unique is to make weather control, her shift ability that changes between lightning and wind, speed and damage, actually change her basic attack as well. So instead of always shooting wind blades out, you'd only be shooting wind blades out in the speed stance, and then in the other stance you'd be shooting out basically like almost Hela like projectiles, which are like, I can't tell if Hela actually is hit scan or not, but it feels hit scan. You'd be shooting out lightning bolts that are basically hit scan. They could shoot at a slower speed or maybe even a faster speed, doesn't really matter, whatever works best for balancing. But it's kind of like her long range attack. So you go to damage mode and you have this new attack that can actually snipe people, and you don't have to always like lead your projectiles. Her wind attacks right now are really good, so if you wanted to use those, you'd go to the speed stance and use those wind blades. They pierce through people, so that's really strong in like corridors and just like hitting through a ton of enemies at once. The lightning bolt basic attack in her lightning stance wouldn't actually pierce anybody, but it would just be like a really good sniping ability. For balancing reasons, you could make it crit or not, depending on whatever works best. But that would actually make her even better at taking out air units, because right now it's like, that's her hardest thing to do. You have to like lead your shots really well. But switching into that stance and being able to snipe with lightning bolts, I think would be pretty fun. On top of that, when she goddess boosts and starts making lightning come down or giving an extra bonus speed boost to everybody, she would actually upgrade her own basic attacks as well in whichever stance she's in. So you goddess boost your wind blades, and now upon impact with the ground, they create gusts of wind for a second that just knock enemies either sideways, or I was thinking they knock them upwards a little bit. So she has some kind of CC right there. Goddess boost only lasts, I think, 8 seconds. So you just goddess boost, and then now your basic attacks do a bit more. A little bit of splash damage on them wouldn't hurt. It wouldn't direct hit people and then knock them up. That would still pierce through them, but if you did hit the ground, I think it should splash them up. Only while goddess boosted again. If you're in your other stance, which goddess boost is insane in that stance because lightning bolts just come down everywhere, I think that's good enough. I don't think it should upgrade your attack. You already get a damage boost on your new lightning bolt basic attack, and lightning strikes everywhere. That should be unchanged. Now her right click bolt rush, this move is disappointing for a lot of people. I was kind of disappointed at first, but I've been using it pretty well now. It actually pierces people as well, just like her wind attacks, and it's like on a 4-second cooldown. So a bolt rush would actually only work in the damage boost lightning form. If you're in the other form, it becomes a wind gust, not bolt rush. Now wind gust, you just throw a big gust of wind onto an area and it impacts and knocks enemies all apart, just discombobulates the team a bit. So now you have a right click in both stances, and you have a goddess boost extra basic attack in both stances, and you just have a basic attack that changes in both stances. So it's all about the weather control. Do you want wind at the moment, or do you want lightning? Now Iron Man and Magic both have certain moves that inspired me to make another move for Storm here, where for example Magic can teleport with her limbo portals, but then within a set amount of time she can click a button and it does an extra ability. Same with Iron Man, he can start flying or use his armor upgrade, and within a set amount of time he can press F and it starts launching micro missiles at people. For Storm, I was thinking whenever she changes with weather control, or it could be when she goddess boosts her weather control, either one, she can press F and it'll make the area rain down on enemies. And what that would do is make the enemies get completely soaked. That could have its own effect. It could slow them or something, or it could do absolutely nothing. Maybe even it could mark enemies, whatever you want it to do. She's the eye of the storm. Everyone around her is in her storm. But what it would do is upgrade your bolt rush and wind gust attacks if they're soaked. So enemies that are soaked, you use bolt rush on them, you right click, and it chains to the targets. It doesn't need to carry on the same amount of damage per target. It could fall off as it chains more and more, but I think that would be really cool to have. Or you could just get rid of this whole rain ability and just make bolt rush chain normally. But people really wanted to see some rain effects in Storm's kit, which she doesn't have any right now. So you swap stances, cause the area to get rained on, everyone gets soaked. Bolt rush now chains to enemies. Wind gust, if you use that on enemies, it would turn that rain on enemies into ice, not freezing them, but causing them to have the slippery movement effect. You basically wind gust the rained area and it would cause ice to appear, making people slip a little bit. I don't think I really need to explain like the slippery movement thing. You've all played Mario and all these games with ice effects. Basically, people would get slippery for like 2 seconds. So if you really need that chain lightning in the moment, you rain the area, soak people, chain lightning. If you need more of a crowd control-ish type thing, you can do the ice effect. So now Storm would have a ton of different properties: rain, lightning, ice, and wind. All within basically the same kit that she already has. It's just given extra things based on your weather control mode. So yeah, that's my proposal for a Storm change. It's not too many new abilities, but yeah, I've been really enjoying Storm. Again, I don't think her ult needs a change. I don't think anything else really needs changes, but I do agree with a lot of other people where like you expect more from Storm. You want her to do more. So yeah, I thought of this concept. The rain ability really doesn't need to be a thing. You could just make bolt rush chain to targets and wind gust just be its own thing where it knocks people away. But yeah, even without the rain effect, this gives her one extra ability and a new basic attack, which I think would be very fun to use. In no way am I making this video because I think Storm is weak. I think she's very powerful. I mean, she gives the entire team speed or damage. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, definitely let me know your thoughts on Storm. Let me know if you want me to do a video like this for any other characters. This is one I just felt more passionate about because I'm really enjoying this character right now, but a lot of people I'm seeing are disappointed. So the devs have said they're open to change characters based on the closed alpha feedback, so I wanted to give mine here. Let me know if you guys agree with these changes, or let me know your own changes down below. That wouldn't be too drastic to change, keeping most of her kit still feeling the same here. Again, with these added changes, you'd probably have to make her cooldowns a bit longer, maybe even weather control because of the rain ability. Some kind of cooldown on it, because right now weather control you could just quick swap between, it has no cooldown. So there'd be some balancing to do if you change your kit, obviously. But yeah, those are just my thoughts. So anyways, I will see you guys in the next Marvel Rivals video very, very soon.